Hello and welcome to Razzmatazz with Rashi. And today we have with us Dr. Preeti Talwar. She is a doctor by profession and a writer by passion. Her literary work has been published in both national and international platforms, and recently her story is published by an anthology by Story Mirror. So, in this episode, we'll get to know a lot more about her work, and her life. So, welcome, Preeti. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you to see you back again. And I'm happy to
Yes.
be back on Razzmatazz with Rashi. It's a great feeling. And thank you for
Thank you.
inviting me.
Thank
I'm
you.
good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So before we
Yeah.
move forward, I'll tell the audience that at the end of this episode, we'll share a question. And if you give the right answer in the comments below, you will stand a chance to win the mega prizes at the end of the season. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe before you participate. Yes, Preeti. So let's begin with your introduction. Tell us something interesting about yourself.
Yeah, Rashi, I am a doctorate by profession,
Yeah.
but a writer by passion. This writing, Kakira, has been ingrained in me from time immemorial. I think since I was a child, this
Okay.
writing was always there. And I never left writing any moment, any time in school magazines, wherever
Okay.
I found, I
Yeah.
was writing. I was just into writing. I would read and I would write.
Nice.
Whether, and because of that writing, whether I was doing a debate or a declamation or anything,
Okay.
it would
Something
be
around it.
always
Yeah.
there. Yes, something
Okay.
around writing. And it has been a wonderful journey since. And this became very strong once I took a long sabbatical. The minute I
Okay.
got hitched,
Mm.
I took this long sabbatical of
Uh,
20 plus odd years.
okay.
And that is the time when one becomes redundant. So then that was, I think, the time of my rediscovery.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I rediscovered myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that there were new facets to my personality.
Right.
I writing. I never even left a moment. Even while during that sabbatical,
Mm.
any place I found, any competition, I would write.
Okay.
There were times when Hindustan Times was giving us a cue, and
Mm-hmm.
we could write on that. So
Mm.
those were the times when internet was not prevalent, and you had to pick up a pen and post.
Yes.
So that was the time I would pick up that pen and I would write.
Mm.
And you won't believe it, three of my writers were published in the Hindustan Times,
Oh,
along
nice.
with my photo, and a
Okay.
small trophy was handed
Oh,
over
wow.
to me. So that gave me a high. And
Yes.
I think despite all odds or anything, I would just keep
Mm.
writing. I won't even think
Yes.
whether I would win or I would lose. It was
Yeah.
just a
You're
passion
just
to
passionate
write.
about it.
Yes, I've been
Mm.
passionate. And I would say, I think a lot to do with your home, your family, and
Mm.
your alma mater.
Yeah.
Because 7 to 8 hours a day you spend in school. And I think
Yes.
that is the place where the foundation is laid.
Correct.
And
Very true.
I would definitely praise my teachers.
Mm-hmm.
All, even today, I'm in touch with them, and
Oh, that's good.
yeah, they
Mm.
shower their blessings, they
Yes.
read my write-ups,
That means a lot.
and boost my morale.
Mm.
And whatever I am today, I should say they've chosen my personality
Definitely.
to
Yes.
come to this level. I mean,
Correct.
one should say the guru is the ultimate,
Yeah.
to reach whichever place you want to. The guru is
Yes.
there. Yeah.
Definitely.
Um,
So share
it's
what all work have you done like in your writing field? Like you've said that your work was
uh,
published on various platforms. So what kind
yes.
of topics do you write on? Where do you publish them?
I write on different niches. I started with a lot of content writing,
Mm-hmm.
and I wrote for a lot of startups. And then I
Okay.
went into whether I wrote about fashion, health, education, you name it.
Yeah.
And I was writing for everything,
Okay.
and they were published. And then I was into creative writing. So that has been published on various platforms like Women's Web, Mom's Press, so different truths. And now on international platforms like the Country Square magazine, which is a UK-based magazine, or a Thrive Global. Then just now, recently, it has been published in Levant International magazine.
Okay.
So yeah, and some of the it's various issues have been published. Like I do write a lot on health, wellness is one of my
Okay.
strong forte.
Okay.
Yeah, I love writing on such topics. Then education is another one, and I've been published in two anthologies.
Yeah.
So first was Happiness Quotient, and one which is in the final draft, which
Yeah.
is being published by Story Mirror. That is Under the Moonlit Sky, which would
Okay.
be hitting the market very soon.
Nice.
And yeah, and there that it was a competition kind of a thing. And I have written about my protagonist being going through lots of turbulent times, highs, lows, and but she there's a rock fast relationship, and after 25 years of a relationship, that rock solid relationship, she wants to thank her better half, and that is being done in a form of a love letter.
Okay.
So that has been
That's
published in
interesting.
a form of a yeah,
Yeah.
that has been done in a form of a love letter, and it has various quotes and writings to
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So since she cannot do it verbally, so it has been
Mm-hmm.
done through love letter.
Letters.
And
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
so we could not use a pigeon, we could not use anything. So love letter had to be done.
Correct.
So
So when do you
that
like
is the
find time for writing? Like, what's your kind of daily schedule? Do you follow any schedule, or like you write when you feel like? How is it?
no, I cannot follow a schedule because with
Mm-hmm.
balancing home and hearth, it is a
Mm-hmm.
bit difficult. Whenever I find the right time or I see a theme and there's a
Mm-hmm.
competition,
Mm-hmm.
I start writing, any kind of a magazine giving out a theme
Okay.
or a cue. And if I
Yeah, they
like it,
keep giving
I just
prompts to write.
yeah,
Yeah.
and those prompts have really helped me out, that they
Yes.
fuel your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Writing just recently, there was one on Women's Web, which I
Mm-hmm.
have written regarding, I voiced myself, my
Yeah.
future self has written to my younger self,
Younger self. Okay.
yeah, that
Yeah.
what you could have done and what is your wisdom like, and what
Mm-hmm.
all you should not do and what you should do. Like you should not join the bandwagon. You should
Yeah.
be confident about yourself, whatever you're doing. That
Yes.
kind of a thing. So that
Mm-hmm.
has been published in Women's Web recently.
Nice.
And I've been doing a lot of writing on other platforms too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Momspresso is one which I'm quite
Mm.
regular. And there we have different kinds of prompts, maybe very small
Yeah.
prompts, maybe dealing with relationships, with
Mm.
parenting, motherhood.
Yes. You
So
get a variety of
that
prompts there.
yeah, I like
Mm.
to write with them. Then I've
Nice.
been associated with the Lit Clean magazine,
Mm-hmm.
where one has just been recently published. It was a love theme.
Mm-hmm.
So since it is a literary magazine, they asked us to write something related to literature.
Okay.
And yeah, and the whole journey was that when I wrote, it was regarding how love came through literature. Any
Mm-hmm.
artistic form, Rashi, has love to it,
Yeah.
and I think whether it's art, whether it's dance, everything has love to it, emotion,
Yes.
love is a kind of an
Yeah.
emotion. So I traced out that.
Mm.
And in that way, I think I have become the protagonist, and I've given the various love angles to
Okay.
my life,
Yeah.
tracing it to literature, you know
Literature. Mm-hmm.
literature, yeah, on my crushes and the blushes,
Yeah.
regarding all the classics, the latest, the fiction, non-fiction,
Okay.
like, yeah, it was
Mm.
published on
So you're
that.
writing like
And
on a different, very interesting kind of, you handling those prompts in an interesting way. So like, where do you get the inspiration, to come up with these ideas or to continue to write?
inspiration to be with my fellow bloggers. being
The
in an
community,
august company of fellow bloggers means
yeah.
a lot to me. Whenever I read other people's, I'm my own critic, and I feel no, I must hold my. Seeing you, see, you are a big example of it.
Oh God,
You
thank you.
you do so many things. Whenever I
No,
see, and
I
I
hardly do anything.
no, you are doing a lot. Since the very beginning, I was just seeing the way you're writing those ebooks, even into music. You're
Yeah.
everywhere. And I think you are making a name for yourself. And that is one big thing. That way, I like to read a lot about so many fellow bloggers, and I think
Yeah.
they are doing exception. I think writing today has become a big industry. Like
Yeah,
people are all
definitely.
e-publishing or in
Mainly
print,
after
which
we
is
got into
not.
social media and we got a platform, where
Yes,
we can showcase it. Even writers were writing even before, but nobody was able to read them so easily. Now it has become easier. And that's why we build a
yeah,
community, help each other, grow together.
yes,
That makes a
yes.
difference.
And I think everybody has a story to tell. When I
Yes.
talk to people, even ordinary people, I find that they are all wanting to write. Maybe some
Yeah.
people cannot pen it down, but
Mm.
each one of
Yeah,
them
everybody
is
has a
writing
story to tell.
a story to tell, and whether it's poetry or it is writing, it is a kind of a catharsis. People
Mm.
want to purge their emotions.
Yeah.
And this is one big thing. And I also found solace in writing,
Mm.
because when you lead your life, you go through a lot of emotional upheavals, lots of issues.
Yeah.
And I think this is the best way to unwind, because no other thing can help you out otherwise. Because
Correct.
whenever you write and you put all those emotions on paper, I think
Mm.
the purging is done.
Yes.
You There is so much that
Correct.
you're at a calm, you're tranquil. After that, uh,
Yes.
at times, this is the only thing I feel in life. This can help you out.
Yeah.
And I asked several people, when they're going through
Mm.
a lot of problems, I feel that this is the best way to come out of your problems.
Yes.
I don't know whether you agree with that, but
Yeah,
and
correct.
especially women, women
Mm.
today, like I meet and I talk to people even virtually.
Mm-hmm.
They've had a break in their
Yeah.
life, like how once you get hitched, you
Mm.
or motherhood or something,
Yes.
you break up and then you are unable to come back and do any work.
Mm.
But I think that should not push you down. You
Yeah.
have roadblocks, but it is up to you. Your ideas should be the ones which can help you to come out of that,
Correct.
and brainstorm and come
Mm.
back. But,
You have to
I
make efforts,
managed,
and you can, of
yeah,
course. If you want, you can
your
come
own
back.
efforts.
Like
Otherwise, you
you, your
become
journey
redundant.
itself has been very inspiring. Like you said, you've taken a sabbatical
Thank
for
you
like
so
more than
much.
20 years, and then you're coming back, and you're already inspiring so many people out there who
Thank you
want
so
to come
much.
back but who don't get a inspiration or who don't know how to whom to look up to. So please share your journey with us, and I mean I'm sure many people
Sure,
are
sure.
right now
Uh,
and they feel
yeah,
inspired.
because exactly like
Yeah.
my journey would be from a mom to ma'am. I I started, and when that was the time when I took that sabbatical, and I
Mm.
just went. I was busy nurturing the kids and
Yeah.
doing other things, so that I could not give time. And when I found that my responsibility was less, now the time was hanging, and I'm a
Mm.
kind of a restless soul. So I need something. I cannot
Something to
sit
do,
and
yeah.
twiddle my thumbs. So I was surfing the net, and this particular opportunity came in front of me. I
Mm.
joined as a proofreader, and I was
Okay.
working with a publishing house. I started
Mm.
working with a publishing house. A decade back, work from home was an alien aspect. You know,
Yeah,
and today it's
true.
the new norm. But
Yes.
when I started doing that, it was something new,
Yeah.
and today it has become the norm.
Mm.
And I worked for a publishing house for 3 years, and
Okay.
as a proofreader.
Mm-hmm.
Then definitely I wanted to change gears, and I went into content writing.
Okay.
And I'm a self-taught
Yeah.
person for content writing,
Mm.
and I joined a lot of startups. I did, and till date I'm doing content writing.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, gave me a high, since a lot
Yeah.
of work was published. And it was at this juncture, I got a tailor-made opportunity to write for the Indian Chicken Soup series. And my story was published in the Indian Chicken Soup series.
Okay.
And from that, and then it was the word go. I never looked back, because at every place, whether it was Youth Ki Awaaz, Sheroes, or different truths, I was writing everywhere, and I was published. And I think on I was felicitated on several platforms, whether it was International Women's Day, or it was Mother's Day, whatever. And two platforms found my story like inspiring, so they gave me the star performer of their website.
Yes,
And
like you do all these things passionately, so it comes out. It comes out in your writing as well, and people love it.
You, because I don't write. What happens with me is that when you write, you must be honest. You can't write if you try to hide behind a facade and you try to pen down something, it'll never come out. That is my experience, Rashi. Because and I was reading something which you had written some time back. I think it was in the memory of your father. I think you did write. That was very passionate. It made me emotional, while I was reading that. I know, as a daughter, and I think you're doing very good things when I was seeing that you're doing some work on that recycling. And yes, so to keep his memory alive, I think you have really come out and you're doing a wonderful work.
Thank you. Thank you so
And
much.
it was
Means
so
a
much
lot.
honesty. I was reading your write-ups and so much honesty in them. So
that's what I was saying. That makes a difference when you write from your heart and when you are writing. There are people who are doing paid reviews or something. So when you read, you come to know whether it's
you can't
with full
write under
honesty or not.
pretense. Because any pretense and you're gone. Because my best moment was when three of my readers came up to me and told me that whenever you write, it's straight from the heart. So it really gave me a high. And I think for a writer, that is the best moment whenever you're penning down.
Something that we look up to.
Yes. And since then, I have been writing. It's blogging, writing, and two anthologies, as I told you, have published me.
Nice.
And these days, suddenly I've come up with the moderation of chat.
Nice.
So
how did that happen? That's really nice. Nice to see you.
I was writing for Women Shine magazine, and I think you are instrumental in that. The Razzmatazz Rashi show helped me out.
Okay.
Since and she saw my work and she was wanting me to come and moderate her.
That's really nice. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you so much, Rashi. And I'm so thankful to you that you gave me this opportunity to come on your show. You invited me. And she saw, and that way I got this chance and I have started moderating. And now I meet so many people virtually. Such well-established authors. Talking to them motivates me,
definitely.
And sometimes I feel if I am there, how would it feel? And if I would be writing this particular book, how would it be?
Yes, it's a great inspiration, of course. They motivate you.
Yes, that is my dream. That someday maybe I could be sitting on that chair.
Yeah, definitely. You're waiting for that.
Interviewing me. Because, whenever I write, the child in me comes alive, And this inspiration I got when I read a book by Kiran Sehgal. She's Zora Sehgal's the iconic and the legendary actress. You might have heard. Zora Sehgal. And she has written this memoir for her mother. Yes. And that book is very inspirational. You should read it. That lady, I mean, she never thought that she was aging. She passed away at the grand age of 102, which means a lot. And that child in her was always alive. Whether she suffered or she did anything, And when I read that book, I was inspired. I said, why do we feel that we are aging or we are doing these sort of things?
Correct.
It's in the mind. The negativity starts in the mind, and if you think positive, if you think that you have it in you, or that child in you is alive, I think you can do wonders. I've stopped even thinking that we are aging. What do you mean by age? The minute you start thinking you are aging, you will not be able to do anything. Your mind would be all with cobwebs. You won't be able to just do anything. For me, like I'm like a butterfly. For 1 minute I sit, second minute I flit. That kind of a feeling I have. I cannot sit in one. I want to keep doing new things every day. Every day is a challenge, and and I have tried several things. Maybe writing, maybe creative writing, blogging, proofreading, editing. Even I worked as an edu advisor for two sites. I was advising them on their educational things, to the exams, and the way, hiring them, the candidates and all. Even that I got the hang.
So what are your future plans like from now? Like what's keeping you busy and what are you planning to do now?
My plans would be we have just launched a book reading site.
Oh wow!
So I am planning on calling a lot of authors,
so all the planning is going on there.
Yes, and having book reading sessions.
Yeah, that's nice.
Along with that, it is a long far off dream, but it is in my brain to pen down maybe a flash memoir. I want to pen down a flash memoir, so that maybe next time, if I am invited to your,
of course you are, anytime,
to your session, so maybe I might be penning down my flash memoir.
Definitely, we're looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. And because I feel before you kick the bucket, your life should be well lived,
Yes,
definitely. The epitaph should read that my life was worthy, my life was well lived. And that's a nice thought. That's my mantra.
Correct. So would you like to read something for us today?
Sure. I just wanted to share an anecdote with you that, the pandemic got me into another facet, and that is poetry, which I had never done before.
Okay.
This is a very funny incident. Let me quote, and then I'll read. A friend tagged me, and there is and that was commemorating Maya Angelou's birth anniversary.
Okay.
So the cue was, I rise. And she said, you write. And it had to be given by 10 in the night, because they were going to choose 10 good poets and publish it on their website. And I said, me? I've never even penned down a single line. How can I put in poetry? Poetry is the last thing on my mind. You won't believe it. I just sat. 10 minutes I sat. And whatever mumbo jumbo came in my mind, I just penned it down. And I get a message from that website that my poetry has been published on the website. Nice. So that was a funny incident. And from that day onwards, I started penning down some lines. Let me read out a few of that to you. Through the storms of life, the tsunami of emotions, thoughts always in ebb and tide, my soul bound in shackles of patriarchy, I managed to smile, for I know someday I will rise like the phoenix from the ashes. This is what, it was a very short poetry, which was required. And this is what I wrote in those 5 minutes, which I got. And another, which I would like to share, that is another funny incident, because after this, it was no going back. And then I wrote this particular meme poetry. Okay. I never even had what is meme poetry. It was another competition, and the object was a lipstick. Okay. And now I said, what on earth can I write about a lipstick? I brainstormed for 3-4 days. I kept on sitting. Hey, what on earth should I write about it? And then again, I just put my pen to paper, whatever I got, I just wrote. And these are the musings. The name is Two Bodies, One Soul. Okay. It is, I got out of my bed with a start. Hearing the ruckus broke my heart. My lipsticks were having a meeting to discuss which was best for my pout. The pink, magenta, nude, brown, mauve, and red. Each tried to prove it was the best. All the shades from satin, creamy, tints, glossy, and frosted believed. Each of them topped the charts. Pink believed to rock my brunch look. Purple or wine believed made me look uber cool. Red made me look classy. Brown enhanced a chic look. And nude I couldn't live without. Though we were two bodies, one soul, always in lip lock, how could I set them apart?
That's nice.
This is, and after this, I was nominated by the Story Mirror for their award as an author of the week for a
awesome.
poem I wrote.
So you continue to write poetry.
I don't know. I started penning down a few lines after this whole episode. And I did win a competition with them that is called as Kissa Ishka.
Okay.
Another with Story Mirror. So things seem to be just coming, and I just, any challenge comes, I've started taking it in my stride,
Yeah, definitely.
And that is how. And just recently, when Blog Chatter, I managed to find a place in their cause chapter, and I was published there since they found that my journey would be inspiring to other women.
Definitely.
To help them empower. So that was published, and that they felt that it could help women to get out of, since they are mired in the shackles of patriarchy. I think they can definitely get out of that, it
helps. These stories definitely help.
Yeah, because it is your own roadblock, your own mental roadblock. Otherwise, I think nothing can hold you back. Every lady, every woman, every person can do wonders for his life.
And you are doing a great job here, inspiring so many people. So before we forget, let me give a question to the audience. That Preeti just read 2 poems from her collection. So you can just name any one of the poems, the title of that poem. And if your answer is correct, you will definitely win mega prizes at the end of the season. So thank you so much, Preeti. It was really wonderful having you back again on the show. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much, Rashi.